So welcome to A Course of Love book gathering. Um, this is the book, A Course of Love, written by Perron, First Receiver. And today we're on chapter 11. And so I'm going to jump right in for chapter 11. It's on page 89 in the second edition. I have this second edition. Chapter 11, Free Will and Willingness. The exercises in this course of love are few, and they are contained within the course itself rather than separated from it. There are but a few reasons for this method. The first is your attitude toward instruction and the fact that you do not really desire it. What you desire is what cannot be given from anywhere but your own source. Again, you realize this aspect of creation, and it is helped to solidify your stance against union and your lack of desire for instruction. This is due to your confusion about your source. All of your fierce determination to hang on to your individuality stems from this confusion. If your source were truly your body and the brain that causes it to function, then you would indeed be required to learn things on your own, for all true learning must come from your source. You think your source and your creator are two separate things, and too seldom remember even that you are not your own creator. You have made this separation based on the idea that what you created, you cannot be, that what you created, you made this separation based on the idea that what created you cannot be one with you. Again, this only points to your lack of recognition of what creation really is. And yet, when you would practice creativity, you realize it is a celebration of the Creator. And when you honor artists of all kinds, you honor but this fact. Every poem bears the mark of its creator, as does each work of art you would gaze upon a wall and call a masterpiece, as well as those creations of little hands you hang on refrigerator doors or office walls. You did not create yourself, and yet you make of life a recreation of yourself, and in so doing, try to prove that you are your own source. This is one reason you do not like the idea that those who would instruct you know more than you now know, and why you begin each new course of learning by feeling as if you have less. You then begin your attempts to acquire what you lack, so that you no longer have less than anyone else. Some of you may be confident in your learning skills and rush in to conquer this new territory as you have others that have come before. These would read each book as quickly as they can, with highlighter in tow, and when they have turned the last page, be done with learning what this book would have to teach and rush on to the next. Those of you less confident may quit before you begin in order to keep from failing one more time. Even those who feel the power of these words within their hearts and vow to go slowly and carefully through each page and section, giving total dedication to what this text would have them do, are at risk of trying too hard to be earnest rather than simply desiring to learn. Each one of these risks I have sought to limit by limiting the exercises to a simple few that will stay with you when all hurrying, fear of failing, and earnest attempts at trying hard have long been past. Each exercise is but an idea, and ideas leave not their source. All ideas here are but ideas of union, come to replace ideas of separation. This will happen of its own, without your understanding, as long as you remain willing for the ideas to dwell within you, and you do not try to shut them out. Realize that the ideas of both success and failure are detrimental here. To feel you have achieved success in learning what love is all about is as ridiculous as feeling as if you have failed to learn what love is. Neither can happen, and your perception that either can will shut out all ideas of union. What love is cannot be taught. Remember that your task here is to remove the barriers that keep you from realizing what love is. That is the learning goal of this course, your awareness of what love is, and no earthly course can take you beyond this goal. It is only your willingness that is required. Willingness must thus be talked about and separated from what you would have it be. Willingness and faith go together. What you have faith in, you will see. What you have faith in, you will see. This course asks for your willingness to have faith in something new. You have placed your faith in what you have made, and while it remains there, you remain unwilling to relinquish illusion's hold on you. You can be faithful to but one thought system. One is the thought system of the separated self and is based on separation. The other is the thought system of creation and is based on union. Your faith in what you have made has been shaken now, and you realize you would like to place your faith elsewhere. You would like to, but you have your doubts, and this is where you become confused on the issue of willingness.
Okay, I will pick it up now. Let's see. Turn my volume up a little bit. Willingness does not arise from conviction, but brings conviction. Willingness is your declaration of openness, not necessarily of firm belief. You see free will and willingness together, and while they are the same, their application is quite different. Your free will you guard most closely, knowing this is what made the separation possible. You regard it as your one protection from God, the one thing that allows you to be other than what God would have you be. It is your God given right of independence, that which allowed you to leave God's side the way a child reaching the age of adulthood has the right to leave her parents' home. Wow. To think you must protect anything from God is insane, and you know that this is so. But because you view free will as all you have that God cannot take away from you, you have not yet given up its protection. It does not matter to you that it is insane to think that He who has given you everything seeks to take anything away from you. While you still view yourself as a body, you cannot help but think of God as a vengeful God, whose final vengeance is your own death. Yeah. While you still think of yourself as a body, it is easier to accept that your banishment from paradise was God's decision, not your own. Oh, wow. You think you can be grateful to Him for some things and blame Him for others. Yes, perhaps this God you think you know has given you everything, but He can also take it all away. And in the end, He surely will. He then will judge you and determine if you should be rewarded for a life of goodness or punished for a life of evil. He might accept you back, but He might not. A God such as this would seem to have little faith in you and to deserve little of your faith in return. And so you give to God a little faith and cherish your free will, the true God of the separated self. Oh, wow.
Oh.
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh.
Yeah. Big one. Big big sentence.
Mm-hmm.
You think at times that this was God's mistake, the one weakness in his plan, and the one that you would use. At other times, you think that this was but God's curse on you, a thing to tempt you to the life of desperation that you live. But your strongest perception of your free will is of its power. No matter what God wants of you, you can use your free will to rebel and to make your own choices, choices different from those your Creator would make for you. This right to make your own decisions and the power to flaunt them before God is all that makes your little separated self feel powerful at all. You do not see that what you choose to do with your free will matters not to God at all. For what you have chosen to use it for is the one thing that it cannot provide, your separation from your Creator. He remains as He is, as you remain as you are. It is true that your free will is powerful, as it is part, but only part, of what has allowed you to believe in your separated self. While you could have used your free will to create like unto your Father by choosing to make yourself separate from Him, something that could never truly occur, you have chosen instead to do nothing at all with your free will but make this one insane choice. Your willingness to make a new choice is what will once again make your free will like unto your Father's will, which is one with it in truth. Yeah. Your protectiveness of your free will is why we must separate willingness from your perception of free will. Your protectiveness of your free will is why we must separate willingness from your perception of free will. Your free will is the last bastion of your separate army, the final line of defense, the site where the final battle will take place. Before this final battle is reached, your willingness to change your mind about its need to be fought is what is desired by your Father and this course. I have to read that again. Before this final battle is reached, your willingness to change your mind about its need, the need for this battle to be fought, is what is desired by your Father and by this course. God will never wrestle your free will from you or fight battles to win it for himself. This final battle is in your own mind, and it is a figment of the illusions you have made. Let this prophecy you have made go. Let this prophecy you have made go, and realize that willingness does not negate free will. Yet even while you cannot yet quite give up your guardianship of it, it is sufficient to begin with a temporary choice, though a lasting choice will be required before you will feel the shift of cause and quit worrying about effect. For now, what you desire are effects. Without realizing, cause must shift to change the effects you would have come about. Hmm. Cause must shift to change the effects you would have come about. This matters not at this point. You are offered the opportunity to make a temporary decision that can be rescinded at any time. Your temporary willingness will be enough to begin to effect cause, and in so doing, bring some sanity to, to your restless mind and heart. What willingness is it that you are asked to give? It can come in many manners and be given many forms. It can be called a willingness to change your mind, or to allow yourself to be open to new possibilities. It can be called a change of heart, or a willingness to, no, or a willingness but to, for a little while, withdraw your fear and your protection from it. But what this willingness really does, what this willingness really does, is allow your call to be sounded, your call to love and to be loved. Oh. It is a willingness to receive love from your source and to be loved for who you are. Is this so much to ask? It is a call that comes not from weakness, but from strength. Wow. And that goes out to truth and not illusion. It is a call whose answer will come to you quickly on the wings of angels. A fluttering your heart will feel, for angels too are one with you. It may feel like loneliness compounded for the brief instant you await its coming and feel the emptiness that has been opened for its coming. This is a call that requires you to do nothing but to remain faithful to it. You do not need to think about it, only let it be. You need put no words on it, for words cannot express it any more than words can teach you what love is, or that love is. You need not concentrate on where to find love, for love will find you. You need not concentrate on giving love, for you cannot give what you do not yet know. And when you know it, you need not give it, for it will extend from you naturally in miracles called love. Love is all that will fill your emptiness and all that will never leave you empty again as it extends from you to your brothers and sisters. Love is all that will not leave you wanting. Love is all that will replace use with unity. You exist quite simply because of your relationship with love. Love is the unity you seek. Love is the unity you seek. In having chosen separation over unity, you but choose fear over love. When you let go of fear and invite unity to return, you but send out an invitation to love and say, you are welcome here. What is a dinner party where love is not? It is merely a social obligation. But a dinner party where love is welcomed to take its place becomes a celebration. Your table becomes an altar to the Lord, and grace is upon it, and the Lord is with you.
Mm.
Amen. Shall we return? Mhm. Wow.
How do you feel?
Um, wow, what a chapter.
Yeah, this one's loaded.
What a chapter. What a chapter. It's I don't know, I feel like suddenly I was transported to the most beautiful church or, temple, place of holiness, and that someone was speaking to me these words. They're really quite, I mean, elegant from a human perspective, and they really, they're very, very moving.
Yes.
Very moving. Okay, well, we know what we need to do.
Yes.
Before we started to read, I was doing some exercise and watching an old video, and the song was all about love, which I find really interesting because I just didn't expect love to clobber me like it did in this chapter. And I can hear that it was beautiful music. I'll share it with you.
Yeah.
It's like it, it looks like what I see in front of me. The music is just
Oh,
so soft and feminine and loving. Like you would never reject that type of love. And the person who was performing sang the music. Um, he's a figure skater. That's the kind of music I like to listen to.
yeah. It's
And
beautiful.
it was beautiful.
Moving. It's a very feeling and moving music.
Yeah, we call it flow, just
Hmm.
flow, which is what I see.
If you share it with me, Linda, I'll post it when I post this video, so anybody who is
Oh,
listening,
we'll know what we're talking about.
yeah, will know. I can put it on
Very famous figure skater, so that would be lovely. Lovely.
there.
Ah, but
So
wow.
there's so much here. Is anything resonating with you? Anything else in this chapter?
Every word.
I know.
I did underline some things. And I
Yeah.
did know that I felt I had to repeat some sentences to help them penetrate my own brain a little more. Um, it's almost like I had felt like every sentence was connecting to the one before and connecting to the chapters before. There's a theme that's it's like something being knit together and then
Yeah.
in the most beautiful concert ever. I mean, to read the last paragraph,
Yeah.
maybe you would read that.
That, oh gosh.
Wow.
Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it?
Hmm. Actually, the last page is really, really something. Starting with, it's a call. We learned about calling and how important that is, and willingness and being open. And then it tells you everything.
Where he says that love is beyond what an earthly course can teach. So my experience from this book is okay, you go through the chapters, and for me, even more, way more than once. But what happens is the unity and the love, the that becomes the teacher.
Hmm.
That that becomes like you. The course doesn't end. Which when you do come to the ending, you're like, oh, but then when you realize it actually doesn't end, it's like just the beginning.
And actually, in reading this together with other people, hopefully listening and enjoying it, these concepts they grow, and I don't mean like grow like a philosophy. They grow as a being, as everything, right? So love, you can think of it as a verb, to love in the human way. But when I read this, love is not a verb. It's not.
No.
It's like it starts to grow and it takes over because we are reading and because we are open and because we are willing. Just by reading,
Yeah,
that's very powerful.
yeah. That little willingness to,
Yeah,
you know, yeah,
we're willing to be here with love.
yeah. And, for me, the whole thing about free will,
Hmm.
you know, will has more than one meaning. For me, it feels more like that's this part within us. I keep harping on, I'm sorry, but that's this. No, I'm not sorry. That's because this is the part that's within us that's um, it's like if someone writes their will, they leave you an inheritance. And so I
Wow.
feel God's will is more of our inheritance. Like He didn't leave us here with nothing. Like we have with us, within us, our full inheritance
Wow.
if we choose to connect to that. And that is truly in our feeling self for me. When we connect with our feeling, like last week, we connected with love. And remember, I said, my experience has been um, when I just sit in love and extend it,
Hmm.
um, the love just takes over. It's
Hmm.
like it's like it goes on cruise control.
It's doing that as we read. I mean, there's definitely my ears
Yeah,
popped for no reason. I
yeah,
didn't change altitudes. But like I went, uh-oh, here we go. Here
yeah.
we go.
But
Um,
it's a beautiful thing, though.
oh,
You know,
yes. That's what most people that everyone, everything, you know, ultimately wishes to be bathed in love. It just have to sit with it. It sounds like we have to call, be willing and open, and it comes. And it's not like anything, you read in a romance book. It's a very different feeling. It's really,
yeah,
really something.
yeah. But if we have, the barriers up and the barriers truly to this inner splendor within us,
Mm-hmm.
the barriers are every feeling that we say, no, no, that's not, I'm not going to feel that. Like if we turn on bad feelings, like there's so
Mm-hmm.
much judgment around our feelings.
Mm.
Um, you know, that we label them, like we have so many labels for feelings. But underneath every single feeling that I have ever felt that maybe someone would call a negative feeling, there has been the most beautiful, like inner splendor escaping and like
Yeah.
taking over within me. And it usually will start, on my feet and work its way up to even beyond the seventh or eighth chakras, just beyond, just keeps going.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think happens what he's talking about in this chapter. Where was it? Well, anyway, where he speaks of the how love will where is it? Love that will not leave you wanting. It will fill your emptiness.
Right.
Yeah, and all that will never leave you empty again as it extends from you to your brothers and sisters.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happens when we just, if we choose to, from my experience, just allow any feeling, you know, anything that will come up during the day, or the other way is, to choose one that has already been named and to just, connect with that negative. It's not really negative, but what others would call a negative feeling. And, talk to it like a friend. Some do it that way. And the feelings, have never been invited to fully express. So they're, like, what? you know? So they're very willing to be expressed. It's not a always a negative thing to experience. Once the movement begins, then that love that he says here is really just takes over. That has been my experience. And so, whenever I can share that experience to help others, then I just like to add that. Because I see this,
Yeah.
throughout this book, this feeling. I have not counted how many times it's used here, but
but I think maybe everybody has something. There's something for everybody. So
yeah,
like I'm picking up on other words. I don't notice the word feeling as you do. So, but I'm looking forward to moving through um, this course, this book, um, to see where it takes me. Um,
yeah,
yeah, it yeah. This certainly is a time, as are all times, where learning to express feeling and allowing um, our true self with in union with our creator to express the feeling has for me turned out to be uh, extremely useful
yeah,
and and quickly it changes things very quickly, and
yeah,
I do think that it's interesting because it's not something that I that we spend that much time on since we do a
yeah,
lot of blocking and
mhm,
postponing uh, feelings that come up, whatever those are. They're complicated, right? They're not usually just
yeah,
clean. And it sounds like you've discovered that spend a little time expressing with
yeah,
the support of who you really are, which is connected in
yes,
union with the creator, and you will be surprised at your inheritance, at what will
yes.
come about, which
It
is
will
love.
blow you away. Like, what? This isn't me? You know, it will really blow you away.
Yeah,
That, it has been the most wonderful thing for me in my
yeah.
life to really connect to this you know, and later on, in this book, he speaks of the way of Mary and
Hmm.
the way of creation. And he does say later that the feelings are a creation. So when we
I see.
when we get to the bottom of a denied feeling and that inner splendor, that inner love just it just like seeps from you like a fragrance escapes a flower. Like you can't
Hmm.
see it, but you can feel it, you can smell it, it's beautiful. And
It
yeah.
sounds like when what's happening is with our senses, information comes in that triggers our illusions, our feelings, right? Because what we discover when we do the practices that, well, at least when I do the practices that you sort of told me about, it's not the way I think it is. And I'm always left feeling clean. The explanation I receive is like makes me laugh. It's not like, I'm so
Yeah,
mad. It's completely different and it's over. So it sounds like what we really are is love.
yeah,
And what's happening is when we express
yeah,
our reaction to what our senses are perceiving, taking in, that
yeah,
triggers an illusion, a creation of ours. We get help clearing it or understanding it or transforming it.
yeah,
We are left with what we really are, which is love. That's what it
yeah,
sounds like from what you said about the
yeah,
deliciousness of what you smell and
yeah,
feel and experience.
yeah,
Whoa. Wow. That's what we are?
yeah. That's what we are. All of us, you know. Yeah, all of us. There are no special ones. There's a whole thing in here about that too. We'll get to it, but there's no special ones. Everyone is made equally.
Yes.
So whatever I speak of that I've experienced the same is available to every other one. That's why I share it. So in any sharing, I also welcome from others, about this and their experiences with this book. They can leave comments or join us here, and you're very welcome. So, is there anything else with you, Linda?
No, and my internet is unstable tonight. Maybe there's a storm coming in.
Oh.
So I'm really happy to have read this. Thank you.
So we've been reading and sharing A Course of Love by Marie Perron, First Receiver. And that is going to be all for tonight. I think we'll pick up on chapter 12 next time, Origin of Separation. So thank you everyone who will listen to this video, and thank you dear Linda for joining, and may we all, I just keep hearing this last sentence. Your table becomes an altar to the Lord, and grace is upon it, and the Lord is with you. May the Lord be with you all. Selah.